It's me! I'm back! Here I am in Beckzilla Builds of all places. It's been a while. I put out the Halloween series and I've put out Color Me Crazy. Um, and I've also been doing a bunch of other stuff behind the scenes. I can't really tell you about it yet, but I'm very excited. It's going to be awesome and coming out soon. So subscribe because stuff's happening. But we're back in Beckzilla Builds, and I haven't completely been, away. I have done some stuff, so let me show you real quick. Wrong button. There we go. Um, so I went on an adventure, and I would have filmed the adventure, but I traveled about 20,000 blocks, I think, which is a long way away. But I traveled so that I could find a jungle, and I have uh, quite a bit of jungle wood. I also went around and collected a whole bunch of clay, so we have a whole bunch of clay. I have bamboo, all of that stuff, and I would have loved to have shown you guys the jungle, but my computer hates jungles. My computer has decided there's too many leaves, too many vines, too many bamboos, and it can't handle it, and the frame rate is horrible when I'm anywhere near a jungle. So, couldn't show you guys that, but I have gathered a good amount of materials, and I saw quite a bit of stuff on my travels, that I find I might want to build in. I crossed, I think 2 deserts and a savanna. I went over a mountain range. I went through a birch forest. I saw 2 ocean temples, 2 pillager outposts, a coral reef, oh, and 2 glacier ice biomes as well, which were really, really cool and interesting. So I have been doing some stuff. I've also started a little bit more work. This was pretty well laid out, this front part here, for you guys previously. I've started to kind of figure out the layout of the interior. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it like this or if I'm going to change stuff up yet. I haven't decided. But this is going to be a sizable inn. I think it's going to be a place that in the community is going to want to go to. It's going to be quite fancy. And the inn is going to wrap around. It's this big L shape. And I'm going to have lots of rooms, and I think it's going to be pretty good. We might get to some interior stuff today. We might not. I'm not really sure. But I do know that I really want to get started on the facade. I want to get started on this exterior. I want to kind of get a feel for how I want this place to look. So I think I'm going to get to work on that. Alrighty, so we have some work done on the facade. Over here I've started playing around with the roof. In my original design, the roof is dark oak, and I thought maybe I would want to break it up with some spruce, but I think I was right the first time I played with this. I think dark oak is gonna look better. But I gotta decide on the roof shape. So this was my original design, which now that I'm looking at it from down here, I think it needs to be a little bit steeper. But this is kind of the color palette we're going for in this area. This is granite and gray, light gray stained terracotta, and this is jungle and white stained terracotta. So overall the build is pretty pink looking, but I actually don't mind that because I think it's going to go really well with the whole winery aspect of, we're going to have red tones and purple tones integrated throughout. So that's kind of where we're at now. I need to fiddle and futz around with this roof, figure out the shape I want, and get that going. And then we might get to work on the interior today. I'm not quite sure yet, but we shall see. Alrighty, guys, I have done some work. I actually haven't looked at it from this angle. So I've done some work. I've kind of replicated what I did over here, except over here, and I've got our doorway going. I need to kind of replicate this doorway over here, but that's going to be a bit of a challenge because this doorway is on a diagonal. But the idea is that you would come in here, and this is going to be like a courtyard with like a couple of benches, some flowers, just a nice place for the residents of the inn to kind of enjoy themselves. And there will be probably a doorway hereabouts that goes into the inn that way, and a doorway hereabouts. I do need to do some more terraforming though, because the inn is actually going to kind of stretch out over this way. So I'm going to have to remove a good bit of this dirt here and remove a good bit of this dirt here. But once I get this terrain moved back and I can really kind of design the interior of this stuff, and I've started over here a little bit, I think it'll be really, really cool. Obviously, this is just the facade. I haven't done anything on what the inside will look like or even rounded out the buildings completely. But I just kind of wanted to get a good feel for it. And there's some kinks that I want to work out. Hello, Fountain. Like, for instance, I'm not really sure how I'm going to wrap this roof around this corner here yet, or even how I'm going to, do the roof when the building is more substantial. I've just kind of worked on the front. But yeah, I like it so far, and I love the colors. It's very pink, very warm, but I'm really enjoying it. And I got some help from some friends of mine. The other thing I did was I pushed back some of these walls, so that some of them are a little bit more forward, which worked out really nicely, to kind of give it just a bit more dimension. And, I'm pretty pleased with it so far. So, depending on how long this video is so far, we might get to work on the interior of this just a little bit, or we might not. I'm not really sure. I gotta do a bit of editing and see what else we have time for in this episode, but I will see you in a bit once I've figured all that out. Hey guys! Okay, so I am gonna end the episode here, and I realize that this is a bit of a shorter episode for Beckzilla Builds. I'm sorry. I wanted to get this episode out to you before my first episode of Unorthoblocks comes out. And if you are watching this episode the day that it comes out, my Unorthoblocks episode will be coming out tomorrow. So be sure to stay tuned for that. It's really fun. There's so much nonsense and shenanigans. But I wanted to apologize to you guys. I did say at the beginning of the month that I was going to be taking it easy this month and not uploading as much. I didn't mean to drop the ball this hard though. Family that I did not expect was here for Thanksgiving. A bunch of other personal life stuff took place. So I promise I'm going to try and get better about uploading more often. I can't guarantee that it's going to be as often as you guys would like until like January, because the holidays are still in full swing. A lot of family stuff. But I apologize. I'm sorry. Later this week, I'm not entirely sure when. I've got to talk to Nano. But later this week, I plan on getting round 3 of Color Me Crazy out to you guys. And I would like to make an Orthoblocks a weekly upload. And I'd like to get Beckzilla Builds back to being a weekly upload, but I'm not entirely sure if that's going to happen. I have plans for a Stardew Valley series that I haven't even had time to start filming yet, and I wanted to start filming that like a week ago. So I have a lot going on, a lot of stuff that I really want to get done, and just not enough time in the day to do it all. But there's a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it all. But I just wanted to take a minute to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've been a hermit crab. I didn't mean to be a hermit crab. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get better. I promise. I promise, I promise, I promise. Alright, I think that's it. I think that's everything. Phew, all off my chest. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Be sure to check out Unorthoblocks episode 1. It's gonna be so much fun. Okay. Okay, bye. Bye.